G'day Reefers, I'm Cam the Fish Guy. Welcome to Gallery Aquatica TV. Today we're at Anias Stash tank and we're going to be setting up a valuable piece of equipment that is going to allow us to maintain a stable calcium, KH and magnesium. Today we're setting up the Red Sea Reefdose. The Red Sea Reefdose is going to allow us to dose our supplements at whatever time we want, as much as we want per day. So we're going to be dosing small amounts regularly of the Red Sea Foundation A, Red Sea Foundation B, and the Foundation C, calcium, KH and mag. And in the future, we'll look at the levels of the tank and we will adjust the amount that the Reefdose is dosing so that we can maintain the perfect levels required for our reef. So this is everything that we'll need, as well as the tube kit. It has the 4 different color tubes, as well as a mounting bracket that will allow us to mount the tubes onto the sump of Anias Stash tank. The only other thing we're going to need is a drill. So let's open up the Reefdose and have a look. That is a good looking dosing pump. So we've also got some screws, we've got our power supply, we've got a calibration vial, a very good quality calibration vial, and this is what I love. We've also got this mounting bracket. Now we'll show you more about this mounting bracket, but this is one of the best things about this dosing pump. So let's start the installation of our Red Sea Reefdose. So this is Anias Stash tank. Let's have a look inside the cabinet. Anya has chosen to have her chiller external, and this is the way we normally prefer to do it because the chiller, of course, puts out a lot of hot air, and the other advantage is that it leaves us with all this space for our dosing system. Now, we could put this doser in a variety of places, but I think I know where I want to put it. Just here. We could potentially put it on the side, but I'm going to put it on the back section here so that we've got minimal distance for the hosing to go into the sump, as well as it'll mean that we'll be able to push the dosing vessels towards the back of the cabinet, and we'll potentially be able to put something in the front if we choose. So this is where we're going to mount our dosing pump today. I mentioned before that this bracket is one of my favorite things about the Red Sea Reefdose, and it's really incredible that with a lot of the other doses on the market that there's no easy way to mount them onto the back of the cabinet. But with the Red Sea Reefdose, they make it incredibly easy. So what I'm going to do is I've got a small ball of blue tack. I'm using that just as an easy way to mark out the pilot holes for this bracket, and I want it right there. So now I've got my drill and I'm going to drill the 4 pilot holes to the bracket. 2, 3, 4. Now I take the blue tack off. Get the screws that come with the doser and change to a Phillips head bit. Now we have our dosing pump bracket perfectly in place. All we have to do is mount the doser. As easy as that. Such a good idea. I've just plugged the power into our reef doser, and the power goes in here, and there's this nice little groove that allows you to very easily plug in the power and still mount the doser on the bracket. And I'm just preparing our foundation ABC so that we can attach it to the dosing system. And one of the great things, of course, with the Red Sea is that your bottles can be used as the vessels. So we're going to start with these 1 litre foundation ABC, and in the future we'll buy the 5 litres and we'll decant from the 5 litres into these 1 litres. But for now we've got to prepare them. So I'm just going to cut the top off these, which will allow us to attach our dosing tube, and to the bottom of these. So this is something else that we need today. We're going to use these dosing tubes, and these dosing tubes run from the bottle, the top of the bottle, down to the bottom. So you get 2 in a pack. I like to stretch them out a little bit so that they hang flat. And I'm just going to attach like so. There's one. You don't want to pull them too tight or else they break. 2. 3. Alright, so now we have our foundation supplements ready to be put onto the dosing system. What we'll probably do in the future is have the 4th channel that we're not going to use right now for our Coral Nutrition AB+, and that's an amino acid. It's a very, very good amino acid, and we can use it on the doser as the 4th channel, but for now it's very important for this tank we just get the calcium, KH and magnesium sorted. So we're going to start with these 3. Let's get our dosing tube pack and string it all up. The Red Sea Reefdose draws from the left and dispenses on the right. That's an important thing to know, because when you set up your dosing pump, you want to have the left hand side going to the dosing vessels, and the right hand side of each pump is going to go to this little bracket. And so the tubes will sit neatly in these 4 grooves, and this will allow them to be dispensed into the sump with minimal mess. So I'm going to measure out each one, cut it, and then attach them all at the same time. It's a little bit hard to see, but I'm going to sit our dosing tube bracket on the baffle that leads into the return pump section. So it means that, importantly, our dosing tube is going to be out of the water. You don't want to have the tube submerged if you can help it. And it's also going into the section which is going to have the strongest draw, so that there's minimal chance of precipitation. It's basically straight up into the tank, well and truly mixed on the way. But for now, I'm just measuring out the distance so that we can have our dosing pump tubes the right length. And the red, which is the third, needs another 10 centimeters or 4 inches on top of the orange. So there. The trick was clearly to take the skimmer cup off so that we've got a bit more working space. But now I've done that, all I need to do is attach the tubes to the dosing pump. Yellows first. Push it on as far as possible. There we go. Then make sure this is up the right way. It was not up the right way. Okay. Three incremental lengths, yes, excellent. So now we just have to put on the outlets. Alright, there we go. We've now got all our hoses strung up, and what we need to do is attach to the vessels. And put the power back in. There we go. We now have a Red Sea Reefdose ready for action. One of the things I love about the Red Sea Reefdose is it is extremely easy to set up and to calibrate. Now it prompts you to prime the lines, which means drawing solution through the tubes to the point that it comes out the other end, and then calibrate. So you use your little vial to calibrate each of the heads, and it's very, very easy to then program the doses with the dosing pump. So you can see here we have calcium, number 1. We're going to set up number 2 as foundation B, or KH, and number 3 is going to be magnesium. We're going to set each of these to dose 5 mils per day. So it's a very easy system to use. It also works in great with the other systems on the Reef Beat app, which include the lights and the wave makers. So I'm just going to program the other 2 heads, and then we'll be all done. we've successfully programmed Anias Red Sea Reefdose on her stash tank. And now we have 5 mils of Reef Foundation A, B and C being dosed into her tank daily. We'll check the levels of calcium, KH and magnesium and adjust the doses going in the future. We also have some work to do to set up a refugium in this tank. We've got a special idea for using this section in the front to grow some keto so we can help with the nutrient control. But we'll bring you that in future episodes of Gallery Aquatica TV. So that's our episode for today. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Cam the Fish Guy. Happy reefing! That's it for this week's episode of Gallery Aquatica TV. Don't forget to like and comment on all our videos and subscribe to our channel. Stay tuned to Gallery Aquatica TV for more exciting episodes to come. I'm Cam the Fish Guy. Happy reefing!